right. So, Josh, you were telling me a little bit about some of these televised interviews that I missed.
Yeah.
And what were some of the standout ones to you? Because I don't know anything about these.
Poor Serena Williams.
I didn't even, true story, I didn't know she was there.
So
I had no clue she was even in the building.
She's the co-owner of the LA Golf Club.
Yeah, they have a lot of investors for the LA Golf Club. And so I don't think she's like a majority stake, but she's part of it.
I don't remember who was doing the interview. Like, it was the main guy that was doing the color commentating. But she's getting asked all these questions about golf.
Like technical golf stuff? Or was it about like the production? Or a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
And, you know, Serena Williams is the GOAT of tennis.
Of course.
Women's tennis.
She's the GOAT of tennis. But at the same time,
remember that Pete McElroy? Yeah. Okay.
Like the first question that was asked, and this should have steered the whole interview, whole conversation. How often do you golf? She goes, I golf every once in a while. It's, you know, I'd rather play.
Right. So now this sets the tone.
Sets the tone
of how, if she's like, I play 3 days a week. You're like, oh, let's go nuts. Like, let's get crazy.
And like, she's getting asked these questions, and all she could do is kind of like, you know, when you're like silent and you're trying to think of something like on the fly. That's what it seemed like. And
like when you're a kid and you're in trouble.
Well, her best response should have been like, I don't know.
Luckily, she's good friends with Tiger Woods and knows her golfers that are on her team that she owns.
They're all from the same goat farm.
And
thank you.
And all her answers were about the team and about the players on her team, because I feel like that's the only thing she was able to answer. But it was just the way that the interview went.
Yeah,
where I was just like,
they like hung her out to dry.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, wait a second, let's kind of settle this down a little, keep it friendly, keep it fun, and back to you, Tom.
And then you missed.
So here's a question: what do you think was better? Do you think the Serena Williams interview or the DJ Khaled interview from week 1?
I didn't see the DJ Khaled interview.
I don't remember it. Was it weird? Tell me about it, Rich.
Well, I mean, it's DJ Khaled, so it's always weird because it just is. But I would say I felt like at least the DJ Khaled interview, I thought, I'd hate to admit this, but I think it was actually a little better. Just
because he is obsessed with golf. He is personally obsessed.
And it also wasn't as long. Like, she had like a 15, 20-minute segment, it seemed like.
That's too much. Or it felt like it.
Yeah. Well, probably, yeah.
Rich, do you feel the same way I did about it, like after watching it?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it was, the segment was too long. It should have been like an on the mic interview, like just camera mic while she's in her seat, not a whole come around, sit and talk to whoever the announcer guy was and stuff like that. But I will say I liked the announcer better this week than I did last week. Again, making those tweaks. He's coming along, making it better.
One of the things they talked about, I forgot who was, but they said he was sort of left in a position, like the guy at the desk, like at the booth, that he was sort of left in a position where he had to carry more of the show than I think he had anticipated or they did, but they were just, we're do it live, you know, kind of a thing. And so it was a conversation I was sort of overhearing. There's so much going on, but that was sort of mentioned. And I thought that was interesting that again, you're talking about making changes, making these adjustments. And they felt like, however, like, because there wasn't as much player talk. So those guys weren't filling the space that I think the producers had thought would be filled. So that was left to him. I think this week, these guys had a lot more going on, the fun, the laughing, the chaos, the terrible shots, all that. But again, like it's the weekly adjustments that I think are going to keep making this thing cooler and cooler as it goes.
And you know what else is cool is the pop of how many celebrities and big names go to these things. So
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was there.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
That's kind of cool.
Like I wish I knew where, just to like be like, oh, I walked past him, I bumped into him. I'm like, I didn't know DJ Khaled was there. I didn't know Serena Williams was there. I didn't know DJ Khaled was there. Theo Epstein was Jeffrey Epstein's brother.
Oh God! I thought Theo, you know.
No, he's the owner of Fenway Sports Group, which is the Boston Red Sox, and they now own Liverpool Football Club.
Well, you're never going to a Red Sox game.
Well, and don't they also own one of the TGL teams?
The Boston, I think
Boston Commons.
I believe so. I'm not 100%, but I believe so.
which, speaking of Boston Commons, Keegan Bradley was in the house with his
Yes, he
power
was.
mustache.
Nice.
And it was fun. That was one of the interviews I caught, I think, when I went back into the media center and we had these little earpieces. It was fun. But he was just talking about, he's like, I'm learning so much by sitting here and just watching it happen. Like, he's like, I feel like I'm going to be so much more prepared because, yeah, I've come here and hit and we've all practiced and kind of done some run throughs to learn how the system works. He goes, but to sit here as a spectator and go, oh, I see where I'm supposed to be. I see how the interactions are supposed to go. I see what's working and what's not. And I thought that was cool. I just thought, for him to take that time and just sit in for one, was pretty cool on his part, which, speaking of, in 2 weeks, Tigers team is playing again against the Boston Commons Rory McIlroy's team.
Tiger.
So we're going to have a Tiger versus Rory showdown in 2 weeks.